of the Global Natural Resource Conclave and asked him where did he think that the gold mining or overall mining in India really was headed, and his key takeaways from GNRC as well. Let's listen in.
It's all very exciting to listen to them, and they're all very optimistic in terms of what is happening within India, which is very good to see. But I just felt that somewhere in there, the reality at the ground level was completely getting missed out, because we'd now been in the exploration industry for around 12 to 14 odd years, and despite all the hype and changes in legislation, we find that at the execution level, and that is something that was brought up in the McKinsey report, which in effect I would have thought that it should have been at the very start of the session rather than at the end. But other than that, it's got great potential. It is good to see that the level of commitment has increased, that the government is serious about doing things. So it's good.
So, on one side, everybody's talking about on how India is endowed with natural resources and how we have so much potential headroom to go forward from here. But on the other side, even if you started exploration, domestic spending, all of that now, it is going to take 5 to 7 to 8 years before we start seeing those results. So what is the strategy then for the next 10 years?
Yeah, I think the strategy is very simple. Just keep on exploring. And you're right. The average cycle internationally, and not just within India, in India it just takes a little bit longer because of the regulatory requirements. But the average cycle from the time that you start to explore, particularly for deep-seated minerals such as gold and diamond, is around 10 years. So you could start today and you've got to continuously spend money on exploration. You reach various milestones during that process, and as the milestones keep improving, you carry on spending more money. So the strategy is the more money that is spent on exploration and the sooner you start, the better. And very, very important is, some of the best discoveries in the world, and most of the discoveries in the world have been made by junior explorers. So I think it is critical that the role of the junior explorer is not tampered with. And what is happening in the present legislation is that there is just too much of the government getting involved, both as an investor, both as a partner, making decisions, whereas exploration doesn't follow that pattern. So, yeah.
Okay. So what is your sense? I mean, is it going to be about, user-friendly policies? Is it about that? Is it about proper auction, more investment? What do you think is the priority right now that the government needs to be doing?
I think the priority is very clear. They want more money to be spent on exploration, and they're saying that we will make that money available through various trusts that they have set up. The National Mineral Exploration Trust, the new National Mineral Exploration Policy has got certain guidelines which the government is saying that if followed will help in making more discoveries. They've already identified 100-odd blocks that they want to put it up for auction, and any newer exploration they're going to invite tenders from the private explorer. All that is great, and all that will, I hope, ultimately result in bigger discoveries. But the point that I feel very strongly about is that if you look historically and if you look at the global best practices, best discoveries in the world, and India has that tremendous potential like Australia does, all part
Canada.
of the Gondwana land. And the only reason India is lagging behind and those countries are not is because they've let private exploration flourish in those countries. And that philosophy is not being adopted in India.
Last couple of years have been good. I mean, as the data shows, the events show, the way the government is moving as well. But do you think the long-term vision is yet missing, or do you think we're on the right road, right direction right now?
I think the long-term vision is not missing, in the sense that they do understand that with the potential that India has, that they need to make some changes and bring forward certain aspects of the regulatory requirement that need to be addressed immediately, and they're doing that. That is very positive. The question is whether that will result in those objectives being met because of the way the guidelines have been structured, and that's where I have a little bit of a question mark at the moment.
All right, that's the view then from Deccan Gold